Welcome to the Sobriety Over Society podcast, the journey of a once chaotic life transformed through sobriety. I'm your host, Stevie Barker, and we'll be diving into the raw and honest exploration of my pre-sobriety struggles, the pivotal moments that led to change, and the lessons learned along the way. If you haven't checked out season 1 yet, I suggest giving it a listen. It takes a closer look at different situations I faced during my journey to sobriety, covering feelings like loneliness, doubt, relationships, work, and the positive aspects of navigating life without alcohol. In the not-so-distant past, my life was a repetitive cycle of work, drinks with friends, and a lack of self-care. I neglected my physical health, lacked healthy hobbies, and had no control over my emotions, often choosing escapism over understanding. Procrastination was constant, making excuses for even the simplest tasks. My biggest takeaway from getting sober is a complete shift in my mindset. I've figured out how to deal with situations differently, understand what I can actually control, and use my energy more wisely. At first, I didn't realize that alcohol might be a problem because I was constantly comparing myself to others. My friends enjoyed drinking just as much as I did, and I viewed an unhealthy connection with alcohol or substances based on frequency rather than quantity. The wake-up call came when I experienced depression and anxiety days, weeks, and sometimes months after drinking. A connection I hadn't yet fully understood. Seeking help from doctors led to anti-anxiety medication, but not one doctor asked about my lifestyle. Thinking back, even if they did, I might not have been honest because I wasn't fully aware of my relationship with alcohol. So there I was, on medication and still binge drinking on weekends, wondering why I felt terrible days, weeks, and months later. Why wasn't alcohol working? Isn't it supposed to make me feel better? The missing piece was tough love. And here it is. I leaned on medication just as I did on alcohol, avoiding facing the deeper issue. My life lacked variety beyond work and socializing over drinks. I neglected exercise and physical activity. Healthy hobbies were non-existent. I had no emotional control, escaping whenever I felt uneasy. Procrastination ruled, with excuses for everything. Unfulfilled goals, especially New Year's resolutions, were a result of unrealistic plans conflicting with my current unhealthy lifestyle. Excessive sleep. Prioritizing weekend nights over mornings became a habit. Saying yes too often left no room for balance, resulting in extreme highs and extreme lows. I repeatedly rebuilt my foundation with old, cracked pieces, hoping for a different outcome. Blaming others and avoiding responsibility became my coping mechanism. Anything requiring too much time or commitment was dismissed. It's hard to hear, but seeing it now from a sober lens, it's what I needed to hear. Sobriety pushed me to confront these realities, forcing me to rebuild not just my relationship with alcohol, but also the fundamental aspects of my life. Doubts crept in now and then initially, and after a few months of staying sober, I even started to wonder if I could drink in moderation and lead a normal life. But my perspective changed when I saw sobriety not just as medicine, but as a way of life that could be genuinely enjoyable, no matter one's relationship with alcohol. Things got better, more exciting, and rewarding. There was no sadness in not drinking. I wasn't bored, and I didn't become boring. The idea that being sober means being dull is just not true. It's just about priorities. Having lived on both sides, initially assuming a sober person is boring and later experiencing the vibrancy of sobriety, I realize our view of a sober lifestyle reflects our own choices and activities. Initially, after getting sober, I felt confused because I had cut out the hours spent drinking each week. The extra free time during moments I'd typically be drinking initially made me feel bored. The fear of sobriety doesn't come from thinking drinking is more fun, but from not knowing how to fill the time normally spent drinking. In my case, the initial boredom gradually shifted. As I explored who I wanted to be without the influence of alcohol, my free time filled with so many activities and positive habits, along with valuable lessons. Even with setbacks, emotions, and doubts, I faced them head on without turning to alcohol. Reflecting on my decision to get sober at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, being laid off and the only places remaining open for 4 months were liquor and grocery stores, I learned I could handle anything. We can't keep running away from obstacles in our life. We need to learn how to pivot, adapt, and work with the difficulties that come our way without relying on a quick, temporary fix. For those curious about applying the lessons I share in Season 2, I'll be posting snippets on my Instagram at Sobriety Over Society after each lesson. These posts will break down takeaways and offer some practical applications. Before you embark on this journey, and I'm genuinely thrilled for you to do so, I wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you, not only for supporting me, but also for recognizing something in your life that isn't working and for your willingness to improve it. Honestly, that's all we can ask of ourselves, to acknowledge when something isn't serving us and to seek adjustments. Now it's about identifying what that something is. This journey will be challenging, marked by excitement, doubt, fear, so much fear, curiosity, mistakes, many mistakes, improvements, and lessons learned. But eventually, you will, and let me emphasize, will, achieve the results you desire. But along the way, you'll realize you've already won. So let's go.